backing up stuff to Amazon Glacier. Before I go straight into it, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with what is Amazon Glacier. Well, it's a new or relatively new, depending on when you're hearing this, form of cloud storage. Now, a lot of people have heard about a service called Dropbox, which allows you to store files in the cloud and access it on multiple computers. What most people don't know is that Dropbox is built on Amazon S3, which is another form of storage. S3 is great in that it is super durable, super reliable, super accessible. There's our super key word there, accessible, but it's relatively, well, I'll say if you want to back up a lot of stuff, expensive. It runs about 10 cents to 12 cents, depending on your average user agreement, per gigabyte of storage that you get. Now, obviously, Dropbox has bulk discounts and all that kind of stuff, but if you're just the average Joe going up and signing up for an S3 account at Amazon, that's about what you pay, which doesn't sound like much until you say, well, I want to back up my family photo collection or movie collection, and you've got about 2 terabytes of data. Well, you're going to be paying a couple $100 a month just to save that in the cloud. So Amazon created Glacier, which has the alluring price of 1 cent per gigabyte per month. So that couple terabytes of storage that you're saving, all of that being an offsite backup, which is great. It get the same kind of durability, as in it's almost guaranteed not to be lost in the cloud. But you get it, for that same 2 terabytes, you're looking at about $20 a month, which is very reasonable for an offsite backup. There is a slight penalty, and that is, and now if you want to call it that, Glacier is a not as accessible kind of storage, as in, if you want to restore your stuff, there's about a 3 to 4 hour delay before it's even ready to be restored. And most likely Amazon's using some kind of tape backup to do it. There's a lot more technical details we could go into, but that's not why we're here. I want to talk to the average Joe, just saying, how do you back up your stuff, whether it be your home computer, a server, or whatever. This cent a minute for offsite storage is amazing, and you want to start being able to use it. Well, it's not as clear and concise as most people think, because Amazon is built for the system engineer. First thing that you need to do is sign up for an Amazon Web Services or AWS account. That's going to take you to aws.amazon.com. That's an easy part. You just need a credit card. Well, it's easy if you have a good credit rating, right? You need a credit card and you need a phone number, and you're in. Once you're there, you're going to get to this management console. Now, keep in mind, AWS is a whole gamut of stuff. They let you do servers and everything else in the cloud. We're only interested this service right here, which is Glacier. But before we can go there, we want to create a user account. This is the most confusing part that people get stuck on, is how do I create a user account then, for instance, can just access Glacier services? So I'm going to go to IAM, which allows me to manage my users. Over here, I'm going to click on users. And again, there's a lot of stuff that you can get in here. You can see I've already created a user previous, JC, that's for Jeremy Chara. I'm going to go in and create a brand new user, and we'll just call him Glacier. You can call them whatever you want, but Glacier is going to be what we use for this demonstration. Now, here's the key. Generating an access key for each user. You need that. So I'm going to click on Create and then expand the security credentials. This is huge because think of this like a username and password, where the access key is a username and the secret access key is the password. You're going to need to plug those into whatever backup software you're using in order to back up to Glacier. So I'm going to copy those to my clipboard and put them in a little notepad window. We're going to hang on to those, save those, put them in your email or wherever you are not going to lose those. It's not the end of the world if you do, but it's just a hassle to create some new ones. So it's going to say, hey, you haven't downloaded these to your hard drive. Are you sure? Yeah, that's fine. So I've got this Glacier account, but it doesn't have any permissions. I'm going to click on that, click on permissions, and attach a user policy. Now, you can get custom and all that kind of stuff. Again, AWS does a lot of stuff, but I'm going to go right down to the middle of this, and you see this Glacier full access. I'm going to say yes, I want this guy, apply, to have full access to the Glacier services, right? So now we've got the user account, we've given him access. We can jump back here to the Glacier account or Glacier services itself. So I'm going to click on Glacier and I'm going to create a new storage area. In S3 we call it a bucket. In this case I've got a vault already created. So in Glacier it's called a vault. So I'm going to create a new vault because CBT vault, honestly I don't even know what's in there. Let's just say we'll call it MicroVault. If I could say it right as I said, MicroVault, right? Spelled right? We'll go with it. Create vault now. And now I've got this MicroVault, and right here I have the ARN. This is going to be essentially the address to reach this vault. What is a vault? A big storage location that I can put my stuff. Now we've got the framework created. How do we back it up? Well, you need some software because what I actually showed you, this little thing right here we copied to the clipboard, is the way to access the Amazon API, Application Programming Interface, as in applications access this, not you and I. Imagine typing this username and password by hand every single time as a human being. So I'm going to take you to one of the most popular websites for doing this, and that's going to be Cloudberry. The beauty of it, and probably the reason they're the most popular, is because they have this Cloudberry Explorer free. Now, what this is think of it like a little Windows Explorer that allows you to access the Amazon, Amazon Cloud, S3, all kinds of other clouds. I've actually downloaded. Ooh, it's a little awkwardly sized, but I downloaded a copy and I'm running it right here on my computer. So I can go to the File menu, go to Amazon Glacier. This is what it looks like. I'll create a new account. Display name, we'll just call it CBT Micro Demo. Access key. Now this is where we plug in those credentials we saw just a moment ago. So I'm going to copy this to my clipboard. Bam, put it in there. Copy this to my clipboard. Put it in there. Use SSL. Sure, I like it secure. And then close this down. Now I can say, okay, here's my computer. Hit this drop down. I've got the micro demo right here. And look at that. I've got the 2 volts that we saw created right there that show up. I can double click on that micro volt. And now I've just got this big old empty storage location that I can put my stuff in. So I can go to my computer that I want to copy it over and, copy whatever I want. Throw this, we'll just say the RHD setup.log file is now in the cloud. It's been stored inside of Glacier, and I can copy and move whatever I want that way. Now, that's how Cloudberry is going to get you, of course, is this Cloudberry Explorer is free, but if you want some automated backups and all that, that's where they have, of course, their pay-per-use product. So if you just want to back up your computer at home, $30. I feel like I'm doing a Cloudberry commercial. I don't want to do a Cloudberry commercial, but you can see this is the most popular product out there. Now, I will tell you, if you are blessed enough to have one of these little gems, I actually have at my house a Synology storage unit. It's a NAS, network attached storage, and they actually have built into it a Glacier backup utility. And I can guarantee you, I know Synology is awesome, and I love them, and I promote them like mad. And this isn't a Synology commercial either, but I'm sure there's a lot of other vendors that will catch up to them and do this kind of thing. So you can actually, this is a free one. You don't have to go to Cloudberry and buy it. That's included in this. You just go through, again, plug in the secret key and the access key, and you're going on your way. And this will automatically back up whatever you've stored on your network attached storage into the Amazon Glacier cloud. Now, the only other thing I'll warn you about, and I'll wrap up with this, is that the restores do take time, so much so that even to get a list of files that you can restore can take a lot of time, right? But by following those steps, you'll be able to back up whatever you need from your home, from your office, whatever, to Amazon Glacier. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.